Today I'll be making some spicy stuffed mushrooms. These are extremely quick and easy to make for any meal, and your family will sure love them. Let's turn up the heat. The ingredients you'll need for this recipe are quite simple. You'll need some Portabella mushrooms, make sure they're the big ones. You'll need some ground beef, some jalapeños, some Italian parsley, some cherry tomatoes. You want to get some basil. This is basil fresh from my garden. It should be extra tasty. You'll need just a little bit of onion. This is just a slice of white onion here. You'll want some salt. And then you'll need shredded Parmesan cheese and some cheddar cheese or any other cheese that you like. Alright, so the first thing that you want to do is you're going to want to dice up your jalapeños. You can de-seed them if you want, but for this I'm going to leave the seeds in. So start off, just cut off the stem and just cut them up into real small chunks here. Now that our jalapeños are all diced up, we're going to dice up our onion. Again, you don't need a lot of onion, just a little bit, just enough to give it some good flavor. Just like that. And now that our onion and our jalapeños are all diced up, we're going to put these aside and head over to the oven with our ground beef. Now that we're at the stove with our ground beef, we're just going to cook this until there's no more pink. So since I'm cooking on cast iron, I'm going to preheat my pan for just a minute. With the pan preheated, I'm going to go ahead and add my ground beef. Just like that. About halfway through cooking the ground beef, I'm going to drain off all the excess grease. Make sure not to pour this down your sink because it will clog your drain. Alright, now that the grease is drained, I'm going to turn the heat back on. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my jalapeños and my onion. And again, we're just going to cook this until there's no more pink. And I spilled a bunch of my jalapeno, but that's alright. Make sure to stir it in nicely. Now that there's no more pink in our ground beef, we're going to go ahead and turn off the heat, and then we're going to move back to our mushrooms. So we're going to take our mushrooms, and we're going to use a spoon to hollow them out. So just go in there, pretty easy, just scrape it out. And you can set it in a bowl. You can either save this for like a salad or something, or just toss it. Either way. Awesome, just like that. And do that for all of your mushrooms. Now that our mushrooms are hollowed out, we need to stuff them. So we're going to start out with a base of some cheddar cheese, or you can use like mozzarella or any other cheese that you like. So just put a little bit of cheddar at the base, and do that for each of them. Now that we have our cheddar, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of our ground beef mixture into each of them as well. After our ground beef, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of shredded Parmesan. This will taste great on top of these. Now that we've got our cheese, meat, and then more cheese on these, we're going to put them on a baking sheet and head over to the oven. Go ahead and place the mushrooms in an oven set to 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. While the peppers are in the oven, go ahead and chop up some of your tomatoes, basil, and parsley. We're going to use this as a garnish. And the basil. After you take your mushrooms out of the oven, all that's left to do is top them with a little bit of the garnish. So just take a little bit of the tomatoes, spread them out, put them on each one. Doesn't have to be a ton, just enough to give it some color. Think of garnish as a little bit of the decoration. After the tomatoes, we're also going to do the basil and the parsley. Again, just a little bit on each one. And last but not least, we're going to top these with a light dusting of salt. Give it a little bit of extra flavor. Thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of this recipe, as well as if there's any other recipes that you want to see me try. Thank you all for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up. I'll see you next time.